Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very delayed weekly Izzard and DJ vlog. I have been extremely busy, which is why I haven't had time to do this. I've been busy trying to get the patch out. I've been to Eurogamer and lots of exciting things have been going on. So the patch is out. If you're here on YouTube watching it and you're like, oh, I wish the patch was out and I had physics objects, the patch is out. Seems good. The physics objects are there. They're working. I joined a whole bunch of people's worlds. I had like 100 tweets so far. The next couple of days will be fun because I'll see if there's any like more subtle bugs because the bug folder will start filling up. So far, seems good. So enough of the past. I'll show you some of the stuff I've been working on for the future. So Sai, as you're here, did you play Rage?
I watched some videos of it on YouTube. Bloody
awful, really, really bad, and I got really annoyed with it. I was very disappointed. I was expecting lots of good things, but the graphics engine is something like I'd write. It's an amazing idea. It's a super cool idea, but doesn't really work. If you look at my Steam profile, I've just been uploading pictures where it doesn't work. They're like objects with big seams down the middle of them and signs that you can't read because the texture detail is so low. And you look at something and it looks quite good, and you look away and you look back and it's just a blurry mess, and then it has to stream it in again. Really, really doesn't work, and it made me sad. But
I looked on the reviews on Metacritic, and one thing I noticed was that the PC version, the PC and Xbox versions score similarly for the critic scores. 79 out of 100 for the PC, but the user score on the PC is 3.6, and that is mainly seems to be people saying this is a console port with blurry textures.
Yes,
and
that's
the 360 gets 6.6 user score.
That's quite weird because that's one thing it's not. It's actually quite interesting you say that, because the problem is not the fact it's PC, it's console textures. The game itself is really high detail. It just, the system doesn't work. I think we might have to do a jump cut, by the way, because I've just noticed something's not working. But yeah, what it is on Rage is the texture balancer simply doesn't work yet, which is a bit weird because that's like the central pivot point of the game. So I've got a couple of screenshots. Like I'm running on a 1.5 gigabyte video card here, and it's blurry and horrible. If you go hacking the data files, you can make it look a lot better, but that's not really very good. On the bright side, Rage pissed me off so much, I was like, bollocks to this. I'm going to go and put some mobs in Fortress Craft. Jump cut! You were saying something, Sai?
Yes, sorry, a bit discombobulated by the jump cut. I was talking about Rage, and I was going to ask you, is the blurry textures, is that because of the new engine they're using, ID Tech?
Yeah, it keeps what it does is it keeps like all the textures live on your PC's RAM, and then it uploads them in real time to your video card. So it sort of assembles texture sheets, which is a cool idea. It just doesn't work. So like you're walking along and there's this like a cardboard box, and it's just a blurry, unreadable, fuzzy, disgusting mess. So yeah, overall, really, really bad. And also, the music's awful, the sound effects are awful, the game's half about vehicles, and the vehicle audio is something I would have been embarrassed about 10 years ago. The speech is amazing, because there's like a whole bunch of British punks you have to fight, and for some reason, as far as I can tell, they got the same voice actor they used for the orcs in Warhammer, and got them to reprise their role. So it's like, oh, blimey, get in it! And it's like, what? Are you British? Are you orcs? Really? Honestly, there's nothing good about it. The combat's unsatisfying. The weapons are rubbish. At one point, I ran out of ammo and had to punch someone to death, who then dropped his machine gun, which I wasn't allowed to pick up. Ugh.
I won't buy it.
No, don't buy it.
I might check out, if it appears on Live, I'll check out the trial, though. On Live's brilliant for that.
Yes, yes. Lots of people are very down on Live because of the bandwidth, and I'm like, if you sit on YouTube for a while watching it, you don't think you're not soaking up tons of bandwidth that way. But every cloud has a silver lining. and not necessarily on live right now. So I got really quite hacked off at Rage. So I was like, bollocks this, I'm going to put some mobs in the game. So I have started on the first game mode. Now, I'll activate it using the console. Now, we don't have a good name for this yet, so I'm going to call it RPG for now. I'm not calling it survival. It might be, in essence, the same as, many MMO survivals, but that's not what it's going to be. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is about 3 days' work, something like that. So what we've got now is we have entities. Oh, they're still bobbing up and down. Bugger, they were flying until quite recently. So we actually have entities, bad guys. So these are the first of the bad guys. These aren't dangerous. They wander around. They are called harvesters. The idea of these ones is these are not dangerous and they're an easy source of resources, which I'll go into in a bit. But if you blow them up, as you can see, I've been messing about with the engine. If you attack them, on the other hand, they'll get probably what they're going to call wasps. But basically, if you blow them up, they're easy, but you'll attract the attention of other things that will punish you.
Did you say they're called harvesters?
They're called harvesters, yeah.
Do they harvest anything?
I think what I'm probably going to have them do is if they wander over grass, they'll turn it into dirt. So they'll sort of harvest up areas.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the spice harvesters in June.
Oh yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. What I'm going to try and do is have it so we want to set the game in a robot world of some sort. So I don't know if you've seen the fantastic animation, lots of robots, wonderful, all the film robots. But to have, wasps and armored things and elephants and whatever, but all robotic versions of that. So this is a placeholder texture. This isn't final rendering, isn't final anything. This is quite quick. They also won't keep clipping through the ground. But what I have got, there's only up here in the pen, is they're persistent. So if I wander to the other side of the world and come back, they're still here. And I won't mention any names, but certain games, like GTA, if you park a car and go away and come back, it's gone. But I want to have it so you can make pens for creatures and they don't escape where you're on. I mean, Minecraft's a great example there. You put sheep in a pen, you go away, you come back, they're gone. You're like, well, how did they get out? So the idea is that these are the very first mobs you'll see. These are the easiest mobs. These are non-dangerous mobs. And they probably won't look very much like this, but they're not bad. They're quite cool little
critters,
robot things.
Can they not damage you at all?
No, these ones are completely passive. So what I'm doing is I'm building the game in logical order. So I've added entities. So you've got entities, mobs. The next thing you can do is you can kill the mobs, as I will demonstrate there. So you kill the mobs. Killing the mobs, I'm way too close. Killing the mobs drops stuff that I've just picked up, so I'll kill one a bit further away. So killing the mobs makes them drop what they currently look like gears, so we can see them there. The magnet that picks them up is way too powerful at the minute, so that's just so it's easy. So you pick up gears. So you can see in the bottom left, I'm actually accumulating resources. The resources are stored. The plan is, and this is all subject to change once I actually get playtesting the thing, the plan is that this is the metal resource. The metal resource can be used to build things, primarily. The first thing you'll be building are solar collectors, and the solar collectors will open up during the day and close up at night. So during the day, you will have an abundance of energy, and you will be able to damage and fight quite happily. At night, it will be a lot more difficult. And the idea is that the solar collectors accumulate energy and transmit them back, probably with a lightning beam that looks a bit like this, back to a sort of a battery, and then you withdraw energy from the battery. If you've seen Green Lantern, probably the best way to describe it is a bit like Green Lantern, where he puts his ring in the power lantern, he kind of recharges it. So the idea is the whole system revolves around energy. You can use the energy and the metal to upgrade your weapons. You can start building structures. And so the next step for me is to build solar powers, which I can't do yet, then collectors. And then at that point, the next thing I'll be adding, so hopefully for the next video, so when you attack these mobs, they ask for help. I might also do it so you can still select the pickaxe, and I might have to do it so you need to what? Come on, think. So you need to pay metal resources for building blocks. So lots of people have asked, please don't let me do infinite blocks, and this will let you actually have a restricted game setting. Any questions so far?
Yeah, is there going to be a limit on the amount of resources you can have?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. A lot of this, so over the next sort of few weeks, we'll be actually putting together the play tests of this and sort of see what works. So all of the stuff's stored. So if you quit the RPG mode and go back into normal play, it's all still there. So I don't know is the easy answer. The energy resources will most definitely be limited because your collector will say hold 100 to start with, and then once you've played it for a while, you'll be able to upgrade your collector to hold more energy. As for metal, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Will different block types have different costs?
I don't know again. Probably not initially. What it might be is that reactive blocks will cost more. So I was mentally penciling it in, so a normal block costs 1 and a reactive block costs 10. So factories, lasers, traps of some stuff that you would use to actually defend your town would cost more.
And should Earth be free?
The problem is if I leave it free, then you can just create a 100-meter wall around your base and no one will ever get in. So don't know. Probably not. Again, there's questions there. Do I make it so that mobs can actually attack your base? Because I was talking to a friend of mine who runs a Minecraft survival server, and he says it's really fun for the first day or two because it's a challenge, and then you get the top gear and everything becomes completely easy. So he wants this game mode. So if you run your server for a week, you don't just build your fortress and sit back and relax. The mobs are continually attacking your fortress. They're continually making you having to reset and to do things. Oh dear, I'm at harvest cap. That could be an interesting challenge in a minute. So any other questions? I have other things to show, but I might need to restart. I'll see if I can persuade it to do my thing.
Nothing springs to mind immediately, but I mean, there's more questions than answers at the moment, aren't there?
True.
So.
I suppose one that is about the health and the armor system. So the way I've settled on it for now, and this is tentative, is a sort of a hybrid of the Team Fortress 2 and the Halo and the Borderlands system. So what will happen is you have a shield, and your shield takes damage, and your shield regenerates over time. It will probably cost energy to regenerate, but not very much. It'll be quite easy. So the idea is that most of the time you're running around and your shield is full. But your health, on the other hand, will be quite difficult to replenish, and you'll have to build a health station, very much like the ones in Team Fortress 2, and you go near them and they will heal you. There may also be the concept of a healing weapon, but I'd like the idea to be that you can risk combat, but the longer you go through combat without retiring to your health station, the riskier it gets for you as the player. So it's a whole risk reward thing that I'm very, very keen on. Right. So,
just on that, the health, the cabinets in Team Fortress 2 instantly replenish your health, don't they? But the health things in Half-Life,
they do like 25 a second. They go like, so they keep healing you.
The ones in Half-Life were slower, weren't they?
Yeah, but you had to keep
when you play Half-Life Deathmatch, and then they'd run out.
Yes. The ones in Team Fortress 2 run out and then have to be replenished with metal, which is kind of where I was probably going with this.
Right, you're talking about the dispensers. The
dispensers, yes, not the health gun or anything like that.
And not the cabinets that are in the bases.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I'm very aware of in this game mode is that currently, or what I've shown you now, it doesn't play to the game's strengths. Now let's see if I can do this without crashing the game. So I need to come. There we go. So we're now out of RPG mode back to creative. So, what is the game's strength? The game's strength is very much in the custom blocks and the customization, and I'm a very big fan of customizable stuff. So, what have I drawn there?
Looks like a Namco character that I can't mention for copyright reasons.
Yeah, close. So, if you name your custom block currently to Harvester, now ignore the ones that are already in the world, this is why it needs restarting, but if you rename your custom block to Harvester, then the harvesters that spawn will look like your custom block. So if you're doing a Mario world, you can make all your custom things look like Mario. I'm going to have to find one now, of course. There's never going to be one around when you need it. But if I blow all these up, I should be able to...
3 will come along at once.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm out of harvest. So it's currently got like 300 of these running around in the world. So if I blow them up, they should spawn with the new type. Again, it's not the sort of thing you'd ever do on the fly. Also, this gun has unlimited charge. You know, there's no balancing in it. It's mostly been work with collision, work with do the graphics draw, that sort of thing. So by the time that you actually get to play this, it'll all be completely different. Quite importantly, this will actually come quite soon, but it will change. It will change a lot. So you get the game mode. I'm going to have to find one of these damn harvesters, aren't I?
Cheat.
Yeah, well, it's not cheat. There's loads down there. What happens? You kill them, and then new ones can spawn. That's fine, but I think the problem is that it doesn't know where to spawn. Otherwise, I'll restart it. In which case, it will. I need a grenade of some sort as well. But I'd like to put some. I'm interested in weapons ideas. The idea with this gun, and apologies to people who can fly, but this gun will fire shurikens as the alt fire and lightning as the main fire. So you've got your close range lightning cannon, and you have your long range shuriken. And to quote Yahtzee, the only way that could be cooler is if it was on fire and had tits.
Mm-hmm. So that's the little throwing star things, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to have to restart because I've just worked out the bug, which is that the dead ones are still active. So I'll quit to the title, and then there'll be another jump cut. We're getting professional at this. Back in the mo. Right, and we're back again, so I had to restart it. Apologies there. Quite important to note, in the bottom left, you can see I've retained my metal from run to run. So everything is stored and persistent. So I've also turned off the harvester spawning. So I will now spawn a harvester. And as you can see there, it now looks like a Pac-Man. So if you
what? You can't say that.
I can. It's okay. TM Namco 1983. So if you want it to look like something else, you can. That option. So this acts in exactly the same way as the harvester acts. It doesn't change the behavior of the mob, but all it does is it lets you customize your world. So you're fighting the same mobs as everybody else, but they can look however you want. Isn't that cool?
Mocka.
However, my playtesters are very demanding, and they demanded that wasn't enough. So, I need to switch off RPG mode. So, we'll see if this works.
You should call it Gauntlet mode.
Why Gauntlet mode?
Because in one of your tweets you said it's going to be... You mentioned Gauntlet and a load of other games, and I said, well, just call it Gauntlet mode then. As in running the gauntlet.
I guess it does actually kind of fit.
I know, I'm a genius.
Right, so what was requested what was requested is the ability to weld together multiple custom objects into a mob. And they did go kind of a little bit far on this one, and I talked them down to. So what you could do now is if you create one called Harvester, you've got your Harvester, and you then create one called Harv Stack, and then RPG. And you then create one called Harv Stack, and another one appears on top of it. So you can create tall mobs just like that. Excuse my artwork; it's appalling. So yeah, And as you can see, with a little bit of clever work, you can actually use this to populate your world with different types of walls. So they all look exactly the same. I can still blow them up. So if you want to shoot Pac-Man or you wanted to electrify a creeper, now is your chance. So this paradigm will extend across. I want to allow you to customize your weapons, to customize your mobs, to absolutely customize every single part of the. Wait, what's that? No, we haven't done sound effects yet. But yeah, I want to allow people to really, really customize it. So although there's going to be a game where you have to create resources, fight stuff. If you want it to look like Halo or Pac-Man or Minecraft or any game out there, apart from Rage because it looks shit, you can do it.
I've just realised something. Have you got the movement code for these? Have you taken it from your Roomba vacuum cleaner?
I totally did. I was It took me, I don't know, half an hour or something to get the basic movement code working. And they were getting stuck. And then I was like, I'm going to make
this has been solved before, this problem.
Yeah, because a Roomba it's a circular robotic vacuum cleaner. I've got one. It's amazing. And basically the route finding and the pattern matching and stuff, it all kind of works like a Roomba. So they reverse off things, they steer away from obstacles. So yeah, well spotted. So yeah, we've got yes. I was hoping no one would ever notice that. But it should be quite fun. I think this will be
Just a bit.
an interesting game mode, and also I look forward to seeing how people customize it. You can also have a lot of stuff. So currently stuff's also deterministic, so it all acts exactly the same. So if you do that, they'll all oh great, let's put them down dead. No, they'll hopefully do something in the end.
Still looks like Minecraft with an HD texture pack. What the?
So yeah, they're trying to get around that tight corner. So yeah, and also you can blow them up, or not, because there's quite a lot of them. So I'm probably targeting a different one each time. I still want to put some more work into the lightning gun because there's not enough points in it. I don't massively like it. Do Americans have that?
I don't know. Americans, have you got that?
Do you have the Agadoo? I hope not. It looks more like some sort of terrible green train. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are. So over the next few days, I'll be adding solar collectors. I'll be adding the solar panels, the central collector, and some of the upgrade stuff. This all works over the network, which is quite cool, and I've developed an interesting system. So even if you join in the middle of a busy network, the stuff gets pushed along the network to you. And yeah, that's kind of it, really. But as I point out, say, if you come back here, all the way back here, they're still in their pen. They're still deterministic over the entire system. So just because you move away from them doesn't mean they disappear.
Funny little green people blundering around into walls aimlessly.
Yeah, so the next one will be so Andy designed a very cool, like a flying woodlouse with laser guns. So blowing these up will cause the attraction of those. It'd probably be that they actually come to pick up the bits and they fight you for it. And then, of course, you need to upgrade your weaponry. And then, of course, we'll get bigger bad guys. And then, of course, we're starting to build defenses. But, I mean, I've got questions like the jump pad. So they don't currently react to the jump pad. But if they did, all I need to do is cover my entire world in jump pads and I become safe. So how do I stop people massively over-abusing jump pads? Stuff like that. There's lots of questions that need to come out of the playtesting. And I guess we just have to see how that goes.
Would you want them at all in this mode?
Well, I'm a big fan of traps in Minecraft. When I play Minecraft, I don't want to beat somebody to death with a shitty-looking wooden sword. I want to build a trap, and then I want to stand on the top of my fortress and just sit there and giggle as mobs fall into my trap. I've got these elegant, wonderful things in my Minecraft build. So the mobs, they die, they get killed, and then all of their resources picked up. So I want to have the game a lot of it about traps. You've got the direct combat if that's what you like, but also I want to be able to let you build traps. So, but I have to somehow balance that in such a way that it doesn't. Oh, we're all dying now. So that it doesn't unbalance it.
That's got to be a bug.
What?
Because you're further away, it must be far more powerful from further away.
The gun doesn't
Check
have
your
a
code.
limit.
I think you'll find that's true.
The gun doesn't have a limit. That's why. No, it's because I've been shooting them, and now they've basically all got to low health. But if I don't know that, we pick everything up.
I don't know. Try shooting something that's on full health from far away.
That's quite. I can't tell if they've got full health or not. That's quite cool. I like that.
What did you like?
It doesn't pick them all up at once. It's lots of optimization work, so it doesn't waste the CPU time seeing if you can pick them all up. It only detects them sort of round robin. So you see it sort of going.
Yeah. So there's other creepers behind you going around the pen. Just shoot them from this distance.
It doesn't work like that. Oh, wait, I think it's targeting that Pac-Man there. No, it's the same. Currently, it takes 100 frames to kill them because they have 100 health, and you do 1 point of damage per frame. Sorry, per update. So it takes 1.4 seconds to kill everything.
Are they going to have little health bars over their heads?
I don't know. Should they?
I think so.
See, that's
because you would do in a tower defense game, wouldn't you?
But it's not a tower defense game, so bit of a random comment. I think what I'd like to do...
That can be more random than that, but there was still a point, which is that in tower defense games, you've got lots of mobs to kill, and they don't die instantly. You've got to wear down their health, haven't you? And that's what you just described. So I say I think you should have a health bar on them. So, yeah.
Yeah, but wouldn't I've got two preferable options to that. First of all, which is, you see the spark code, like the red sparks, and if you can see those at your end. I could actually have it so they actually start to spark as they're at low health and put down little bits of electricity so you can see which ones are damaged. The other thing I could do is actually use the something like the thermal imaging rabbit. So you'd actually have a relic you can switch to view the health bars of things. So I'd like to try and like enhance the multiplayerness of it. So rather than everyone being the same, you can have one guy and he can just run around just with like a thermal imaging camera or a radar camera, and just say, "Hey, there's that one's weak," or "Look out, there's
a scout."
There's a mothership coming. But actually, like, allow people to have different roles arranged in it. Then I have lots of ideas. What I am pleased at is the rate this has come on, because the system is it's really quite powerful now. It's really quite quick. I need to get some more work done on loading. I've still got plenty of more creative ideas, but so I'm very keen to make sure that the versus mode, the RPG mode, whatever it's called, also has plenty of creative elements in it. So, you join a world, you play creative, you play survival, RPG, whatever, in someone's mode and in someone's game, and it looks different and it feels different.
It should be called Gauntlet. If nothing else, because it's a tribute to your favourite game ever.
It is, yeah. Is it a Gauntlet? I don't know. Maybe it should be Fortress Defense, Fortress Survival. I don't know.
Gauntlet Craft.
I don't. Well, it doesn't really. Well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't come up with an idea I like at all. For
Run
names.
the Gauntlet. Run the Gauntlet.
Run the Gauntlet sounds more like a Counter-Strike surfing map, though.
You look gaunt today.
Very good, Si. But yeah, so now I'm on this mode. They'll actually be, because I say at the end of the last bit, it was all like under the hood work with performance and things like that. So what I'll be doing now is actually a bit more cool stuff. So hopefully in a week or a bit less than, I'll actually have more of the gameplay, more of the health, more of the resources and the collection aspect there, and I'll be able to do another video. So I'll actually have stuff to show, because I can't really show you guys a video going, "Hey, look, it's 3% faster." Because it doesn't make for.
Do you think mobs will just hurt you by running and touching you, or will they have projectiles and explosives and stuff?
So, well, I can show you while I'm here. I wonder if this is going to work. So we also have the other. So I said I think I might do it so the Incursion is the equivalent of the Terraria Blood Moon. So when you're doing the RPG mode, every so often you get the Incursion kick off. Oh, well, that was amazingly convenient. Look at that. So these are this is the Incursion stuff, which I am having problems getting over to see. And with this, you see, you've actually got missiles that shoot and blow shit up. So it's a bit more. So nothing stopping them firing it at you. So probably the Wasps will have some sort of laser gun, but shooting them down with non-homing missiles is going to be a pain. So I think there will, yeah, there will definitely be projectile weapons. I'm not going to have just melee stuff because that's not fun. I don't like melee. I mean, when I play like role-playing games, I always play an archer or a caster class. I don't really find much fun in just beating a mob to death with a stick, which is why.
Oh, you know what would be cool is if the mobs have like support classes as well. So there'd be like some mobs that go around healing other mobs.
Yeah, well, I mean that's where I'm going with the harvesters and the wasps. Is that there's kind of, they got an infrastructure. I might even have it so a harvester fills up with resources and then requests to be picked up and taken elsewhere. So there's going to be like a world going, because that's one thing Fortress Craft lacks is a world. But I can actually make this out of cellular autonoma, so it does its own things. It's not predictable. So the idea is that if you kill a harvester, wasps will come and defend them. But then it could be that a damaged harvester could also signal for help, and then all the wasps can then have like the healing one.
They're all just sort of frozen.
They're because I'm in incursion mode now.
Yeah.
So that's why there's all the stuff kicking off.
There's a nice view up there. I can see Barry Island from here.
I like the missile launcher. It's totally overpowered right now, but it's really cool.
Need sounds.
Got sounds. We just got a drop from Hypersonic Audio, who've done a whole bunch of new sound effects for us. I've not hooked any of them up quite yet, though. Yeah, shooting stuff, very, very satisfying. But I still want to make it.
I've got an interview style question for you.
Oh, yes.
What?
Where do I see myself in 5 years' time?
What bug has been in for the longest time that you've procrastinated about the longest?
It's loads. Possibly the fat TNT takes ages if you crank it up to really big. Someone tried to fail us because the TNT quote unquote crashed the game, and I was like, no, it just takes ages. It does warn you in big letters, don't do this. And he did, and then goes, this is a fail. Nobody else agreed with him, thankfully. That's one of them. That's
because he's obviously got no. That's not even a peer, is it? Because you must appreciate the calculations that you have to do.
Well, it's not that, but it says in big letters, this is not recommended, don't do it on your own head, be it. And he goes, oh, I did it, and it went wrong. Well, don't ever buy a cooker.
Presumably it's not optimised, and it's just calculating the same way for big explosions as it does for small ones.
Oh,
right?
Well, it is optimised. It's just a very big task. But
yeah.
The point I kind of made was, look, if the thing is, goes, I did it 3 times and it went wrong each time. And I'm like, well, after the first one, did you not learn that probably wasn't a very good idea?
You're such a gracious bug response.
Well, the point with that obviously is that in some circumstances it works perfectly, and in some circumstances it doesn't. And I'm not going to restrict the player from doing something because it might not work for one person when it might work for 50. So it's worth going with all of this. I mean, if it's stuff like the outline mode, I haven't seen anybody use this, not one person, which makes me sad because I really like the way that looks.
It's probably only because the default mode is has the best clarity. That's what you're going to want to play in.
I think I've spotted a lot of people turning the detail down. Oh my god, this is getting crazy now. I have spotted a lot of people turning the detail down because the performance benefits are huge on, especially on the Xbox. Not so much on the PC. I really like the outline stuff, and it makes me sad that I've never seen a picture or a video or anything done in the outline mode. No one seems to use it. I'm still, even to this day, I am still fending off comments. People going, yeah, but I like the way Minecraft does its graphics better. I keep on saying, if you like that, switch it across to look like that. That's fine. I don't mind.
Can I see the Spectrum one?
Oh, really? You must have... the cogs look awesome. There you go. Real old school creepers.
Severely overclocked Spectrum.
It's about the right resolution. The one thing it doesn't have.
Yeah, it was a frame rate.
That's true. God, that's about. I mean, God, blimey, 3D games back then were running about 5 frames a second.
Hey, did I link you that video or that video series? The sort of entire history of FPS games.
I don't think you did. I think Rob did, and he said I can't tell half of these apart.
Oh, I put it on Twitter, so he probably got it from me.
Okay.
Yeah, some guy has. It's about 40, probably 5 or 10 minute videos, and I think it's a really thorough compendium right from first sort of FPS games, right through to modern day, in chronological order. It's really fascinating to watch.
Wow. This is
and as I commented, didn't ray casting hang around for a long time?
Ray casting was gone by Quake. Well, there is ray casting in Quake, but
no, it wasn't. That was the thing. Even after the first sort of BSP started taking off, then there were just still loads of Wolfenstein type games.
Well, that's because ray casting's easy.
Yeah, definitely, of course, but there were commercial games. These are all commercial games.
Yeah.
Using older tech. That was what was surprising, was that everyone didn't move on at the same time.
Now, I mean, definitely things like Quake. I mean, when Quake came out, only one of my friends had a bloody Pentium. We all had to run.
Yep.
We had to hack it, and in one person's case, he had to run a software maths coprocessor.
Oh right, just to fool it into that. Yeah.
It ran. It was playable. It was about 5 frames a second, but it was quite playable.
I remember doing that, faking software to think you've got a processor, and then getting rubbish frame rate. When I got the demo of Quake on a cover disc, my next door neighbour had just bought a Pentium, and it was a Pentium 100.
Wow.
And it ran Quake. It was unbelievable. It was like 30, 40 frames a second.
Yeah, so our friend had the Pentium 50, which is hilarious because it was somewhat slower than my 486 133.
I never heard of a Pentium 50. I remember very well the Pentium 60.
That was the Pentium 50 was the absolute, oh my god, budget one that no one.
Yes, it was. It was considerably slower than the DX2.
Yeah, I had a DX4 133.
DX4. Yeah, it was the DX4. It was slower than, wasn't it?
Yeah. So as you can see, if you don't pick up the cogs, it gets a bit mental. I'm quite pleased it's sort of coping with this without any sort of frame rate hit or anything. Cool. I guess that's pretty much it. So next time we'll have more stuff, and we'll do these a bit more often because the creative mode is likely to have visible progress per week, whereas the creative under the hood stuff I've been doing really doesn't. If you can come up with a cool new game mode, what should the game mode be called? Where you have to run around, kill mobs, collect resources, upgrade your weapons. I don't want to call it RPG, it's too vague. I don't want to call it survival because there is only one survival game on the market.
Oh, I know. Gauntlet mode.
Yeah, I think. Well, why don't you put that in the comment then, Si, if you think that's such a good game.
I don't need to comment. I'm in the videos.
If you want to call it Gauntlet mode, comment. I'm sorry it's been so long between the videos. I will try and do more. Hopefully in the next video there'll be slightly fewer cogs because there are rather too many.
Cog hell.
It is. There probably won't even be cogs. They're gears, and it was only a little while after we put them in I realised, of course, that the reward for going to war is gears. So these are the gears of war. So they probably won't be
all these cogs, and none of them is linked to another cog.
Oh, there probably is somewhere. I'm sure I could find one. Like one's on the...
You need infinite cogs. If you spawn infinite cogs, would you get a watch?
No, I think if you spawn infinite cogs, you just get a mess and a low frame rate and out of memory error.
Hey, that reminds me, this people reel out this thing about if you had an infinite number of monkeys with typewriters an infinite amount of time, eventually one of them would write the complete works of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
That's what people say, isn't it?
Well, it's true. They'd also create an almost infinite number of things that are just almost like Shakespeare, but are only one letter different. But yes, it's technically true. But this does give you a bit of an example, by the way, of
how... The thing that people often miss out is that if you had an infinite number of monkeys with typewriters, one of them would produce the works of Shakespeare. Well, no, in fact, an infinite number of them would produce the complete works of Shakespeare on the first attempt.
True, yeah. And backwards as well. And spelled wrong, and in French. This just, by the way, give you a bit of an idea of how I'm kind of envisaging Incursion will go. So you're in the Incursion happens, you are defending your central spawn, hopefully a lot better than I am. But as you can see, it goes a bit crazy with the amount of stuff that's going.
We better wrap this up. People will have stopped watching by now. There's only one guy still watching now.
I'm sorry, it's really long. If you watched the end, thank you very much. And why don't you tell us what the game mode should be called? Not survival. And hopefully we'll see you all again in a week with a much shorter video because we're at practice. So,
by the way,
yes.
Here goes. I got stung by a wasp yesterday. $50 for a jar of honey.
Hold on, why did a wasp have honey? Did he steal it?
It's a bee. It's a bee. Should have said bee.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Oh dear. I'm sure you've all missed that. What will we say again? I forgot. I'm out of the YouTube thing. Rate, comment, subscribe. And we promise to do this more often. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.